ingredient obsession.
One of my favorite topics.
Collagen, not necessarily new to the diet fatosphere, but a lot of folks have questions about it. We know you can buy collagen supplementally now. We know that it is naturally found in some foods, and it's expensive to buy supplementally. So a lot of people have the question, is it worth it? Should I be using it? So what do you think about collagen? Explain to us about collagen.
I have a lot to say. Just like eating cholesterol doesn't raise your cholesterol and eating fat doesn't make you fat, consuming collagen doesn't increase your collagen.
Boom.
So like, is it good or bad? I mean, it's not bad, but is it good? So I will say this. Most people don't even understand what protein is. And I can say that because I hear it all the time. People throw around the word protein, amino acids, and collagen like they're different things. And they are the same thing. Amino acids, think of them as single chains that build a chain link fence. Mm-hmm. Amino acids are the singular structures of a protein molecule. Mm-hmm. Collagen is a type of protein molecule.
Yep.
And said differently, let's look at our body for a second. There's a lot of different types of protein in our body. Mm-hmm. Our skin is protein. It's particularly collagenous protein. Mm-hmm. Our muscles, our tendons, and our ligaments are all protein-based, and they are different ratios of collagenous tissue. Mm-hmm. So collagen is just amino acids that have been sequenced in a way to create tissue. Mm-hmm. That's very cool. When you eat protein, you are eating amino acids. So let's level the playing field for that, right? Collagen is basically a combination of some of the amino acids, mm-hmm. just like a whey protein shake is a combo of some of the amino acids. A chicken breast is some combo. Even lentils and beans, the protein in them is some combo of the same grouping of amino acids. And each of them have slightly higher concentrations of different things. Mm-hmm. So with collagen, you have increases levels of particularly glutamic acid, mm-hmm. and then a little bit of methionine, and then glycine, and then also lysine. Mm-hmm. Those are 4 of the amino acids that are most utilized when building things like collagenous, like skin tissue. Mm-hmm. In whey protein, you have a higher concentration of leucine, isoleucine, and valine, which are your 3 branch chain amino acids, and they are the ones that stimulate the mTOR pathway, which is your muscle protein synthesis, and have a...
We just lost them.
Yeah, they gone. And basically has a downstream effect on muscle growth and repair. Mm-hmm. So it becomes this really cool thing of like, oh, okay, whey protein for exercise, collagen protein for skin health. And like, yes, kind of, but also let's note that the amount of glutamic acid that's in a scoop of whey is very similar to the amount of glutamine or glutamic acid that's in collagen. And so I'm more interested in, is this person consuming enough protein? Mm-hmm. And are they getting it from a variety of places that's creating an abundance of amino acids? The amino acids being the various bricks that help us create and make the various walls that exist in our body. If someone consumes collagen and suddenly starts noticing thicker hair and, less wrinkles or more plump skin, that means they were under consuming protein in the first place. And so while I'm happy they found that source, they could have just as easily done it about 30 other ways. And where I get concerned is people start to use collagen excessively. And where, for example, a whey protein is 54% of the essential amino acids, mm-hmm. which are the 9 aminos our body can't make. Mm-hmm. So like there are 9 amino acids that if your body does not make them, we can't do a ton of downstream things. So you really are supposed to grade a protein quality based on its EAA concentration. Whey protein has the highest percentage, which is why it's so touted. And then meat sources are right behind it. And then you get vegetarian sources. Collagen protein is somewhere in the middle. Mm-hmm. It is not a high concentration EAA. So the version of you that is consuming, we'll just use you as a human. If you're consuming 120 grams of protein for your body, which is probably a little more than you need, but let's just use a number. If you were consuming exclusively whey protein, your amino acid profile would be far better than if you were consuming just collagen protein. Absolutely. So I watch people, if they're getting 10 grams of collagen protein in their diet out of the 120, cool. If they're getting 50, I'm starting to get concerned because they're getting too much of the minor amino acids and not enough of the major amino acids. So that'd be my big piece. And I get concerned now because you've mentioned this. They're putting them in bars, and like you're starting to get these collagen protein bars, and you're seeing all these different,
because they taste delicious, because they add that like marshmallowy texture.
Yeah, it's a fluffier protein. It's also cheaper, is worth noting, and so you get a better texture and it's cheaper. But once again, we're now increasing your percent protein from collagen, which is an inferior source of protein in this higher level discussion. Yeah. So I don't discourage people from using it. If people like to put 10 grams in their coffee in the morning, or they like to put it in an overnight oats with chia seeds, like there's definitely a place for it, but I would make sure that it was no more than 10 to 20 grams a day of total protein. And more importantly, that they are getting what they actually need in terms of protein from a variety of other sources.
Yeah. And this is some place where like some dietitians might even disagree. Like we were talking before this about like, does collagen count towards your total protein intake? And you were like, yeah. And I was like, like technically yes, but I don't want to say yes, because my concern is that people will become overly reliant on collagen for a protein source, and then will be deficient in some of those other essential amino acids because they're overly relying on collagen, which is an incomplete protein source. So we might disagree a little bit, but that's okay.
I love it. What's funny is we're not there's a disagreement in how we track it. It's kind of like net carbs.
Yep. It's more of like philosophical disagreement.
It becomes here's a fun way to think about it. If you and I sat down with the same client trying to give them 120 grams of protein, it'd be the difference between me saying, hey, I want you to get 120 grams of protein a day, but I want 110 of it to come from non-collagen sources, versus you saying, I want you to get 110 grams of protein a day, and then you can get as much collagen as you like.
The same thing.
We literally just said the same thing. Yeah. And we just said it from the opposite side. And so I think we agree that collagen can be utilized and that it should not replace other proteins. The way I would deal with that is by including it in the bucket of protein, but then being picky about how much of the bucket it took, where you're saying the bucket of protein is its separate thing and then collagen's on top of it. I don't hate that. And to be honest, I kind of chuckle because I drink essential amino acids every morning with electrolytes, and I don't count that towards my protein daily, even though it's 10 grams of EAAs. So even in my brain, I'm doing what you said.
We're full of just funny,
we're quirky.
Yeah. Hypocrisy. Anyway, cool.
I'm a hypocrite. Is that what you're saying, Devon?
I just whispered it under my breath.
Wow.
Are there any circumstances in which you would recommend collagen supplementation? You're allowed to say no.
I'm actually thinking, because a fair amount of patients I've worked with over the years take it. I'm trying to think if there's ever been a time where yes. It's always a part of a bigger protein discussion. But if I have clients that are acutely dealing with thinning hair or drier skin or brittle fingernails, or I have clients that are dealing with some sort of like muscular injury, like some sort of strain or sprain or something like that, I think there's value in making sure it's present. It doesn't hurt to increase those amino acids in that instance. That said, I'm making sure they're getting all the others as well. And so that would be in my mind, it's a minor thing that I'm throwing on because it can't hurt, might help. It's not, there's never a point where I'm like, oh my God, you need collagen yesterday. Like it's never the thing, but I think that it can be a part of a prescription that, again, can't hurt, might help.
I would agree with that. There are a few specific circumstances under which I would recommend, not necessarily, it doesn't have to be a collagen supplement, but making sure they get dietary sources of collagen, whether that's a supplement or food-based sources like meat that's cooked with the bone in, for example. So a lot of that a lot of that collagen that is existing in the bone gets to kind of seep into the food. Other good sources would be like anything with gelatin. Is a good source of collagen. And so like one thing I'll recommend for a lot of my athletes that are maybe going through an injury or just like enduring a lot of like muscular breakdown would be like the tart cherry juice gummies that you can make homemade with gelatin and tart cherry juice. So you get the anti-inflammatory benefits of a tart cherry. And then you also get the supplemental glycine collagen from the gelatin. Another situation under which we know collagen can become, or the specific amino acids in collagen can become conditionally essential is pregnancy. And so that's one thing I will talk to my clients about if they're not getting it through their diet through meat cooked on the bone broth, things like that. I might recommend adding in a collagen supplement just for those specific purposes. Now it is there are vegan sources of collagen, but I would typically recommend the bovine source of collagen, which is technically not vegetarian or vegan for those out there. But some people are okay with taking that as a supplement if they know it will help them in this conditionally essential state where we need some of those amino acids, specifically glycine. For pregnancy, it's because there's so much tissue production being created constantly. And so it becomes conditionally essential in that state. So we want to make sure that they're getting that in somewhere. But again, that's not the whole conversation around protein, right? There's a whole other protein discussion. There's so many other amino acids that are also always essential, not just conditionally essential.
Yeah.
So that's my 2 cents.
I love that as a way to think about it, and go back to my bricks analogy, right? Amino acids are the different bricks that we assemble to make things. So if we're saying that, hey, we're entering an environment where certain bricks are going to be used more, and identifying sources of those bricks to increase that bank of brick makes a lot of sense. And so that's one of those examples where you may also have someone who's pregnant that is feeling nauseous, and so traditional animal sources feel repulsive to them, like their stomach is telling them no. So something like a collagen supplement may actually be a value added from that perspective, which is nice. Like, ooh, we can't get enough protein in, and we do need more of these aminos. Let's use this. So it's a great tool in our toolbox, but it's definitely way overhyped. I mean, that's the big takeaway. As with most things, has potential, yes. Tool in toolbox, yes. Something that everyone should flock to the store and buy, absolutely not.
We would say overhyped.
Yes, overhyped.
All right. Well, that's the take on collagen. I love it.